up and at 'em. I'm telling you, I had a great breakthrough. I had a great day yesterday. I went down to Littleton and did that celebrity sales thing, and I and I was standing there in that store waiting for customers to come in, and no customers were really coming that much. And I thought, man alive, I'm glad this isn't my life. I'm glad I can go wherever I want. So I went across the street when it got a little slow at Starbucks, and I just started working on my computer, and I had coffee shop interviews with 3 different people over there while I was waiting. And every one of them, because the weather was really weird, it was the opening topic of conversation. And you guys love to talk about the weather on this call. And I'm going, holy mackerel. What is it about the weather people love to talk about so much? But that was the opening of every conversation. And this one girl that I talked to yesterday was absolutely incredible. It turns out she was sober 5 years like me. She was a little small woman. She was sick and tired of working in the rat race, so she opened up a little store. It wasn't making it. She knew she didn't want to go back to corporate America, but she wasn't sure what she was going to do. She knew that the little shop that she'd opened up wasn't going to make it. But do you know what? It was unbelievable, because I was in your shoes yet one more time, out there interviewing strangers and people that I don't know and making friends first. And I left her, and she was so happy after having sat down with me, because she was about 28 years old and I'm 108, and I was a little advice from an old guy. And it was really, really refreshing to see the eye of the tiger of these young kids. And I sat there thinking about that as I was going through the day. And I was in a meeting with Victoria and Deb, and it was really, really neat, because I saw another phase of longevity that I really loved. And that was every one of you guys, and I'm walking around in the video, so this is going to be the worst YouTube video I've ever seen, because I jumped up, so the first 5 minutes is me running around. But the neat thing is that as I sat with Deb and as I sat with Victoria, and we were talking to this businessman from Denver, Colorado, who's got all these grandiose plans and things going on, yet at the base of the matter, the guy cared about 3 things and 3 things only. He wanted more time, he wanted more money, and he wanted better health. And as big as his plans for life were, he was just like us. And one thing you need to realize when you're out there interviewing, everybody's just like us. There's no different story. They just want somebody to listen to their story. And then when I called Victoria to recap the conversation and see what we could have done better, it was really interesting, because she said, man, Tom, I've never heard that guy talk so much about himself. And I wanted to say to Victoria, after I thought about it a little bit, that's because we were asking him about himself, and that was the first time anybody's really ever done that. And he got to talk about what he's done with his life, what he's going to do with his life, and what he's doing with his life right now. And every one of you guys, if you get interested, you're going to have one thing going on. You're going to have people talking to you. You may as well face facts. And it's going to create a new skill set that you're going to have, which is keep them on track. Because people would rather talk. That guy could have stayed with us. I swear to gosh, he would have stayed there for 3 hours if we would have let him. And we would have talked about everything, because somebody was finally listening to him. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the people. Dan Sutherland at the meeting Monday night had the same kind of breakthrough. A guy literally got overwhelmed with joy because he said, Dan, thank you for just listening to me. So when was the last time somebody did that with you? Because if you get those people that enrolled into a conversation with you, and you say to them, man, I might be able to help your chronic arthritis, your rheumatoid arthritis, your whatever it is that you've got going on. I might be able to give you a little bit of relief. I might have an idea for you. You need to talk to Dr. Wallach. I'm telling you, things are going to come out of the other side of that are going to blow your mind. People like my good friends Matt and Robin called Dr. Wallach yesterday on the telephone. And listening to Dr. Wallach talk about nutrition to people on the radio is absolutely magical, you guys. Use that, because you're going to get an order out of those people, because they believe Dr. Wallach where they wouldn't believe us. Dr. Wallach is so sure of what's coming out of his mouth, it's impossible not to believe it. So put people on the radio with Dr. Wallach between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock Mountain Time. That's between 3 and 5 Eastern Time. And you can do that. You can do that Francis Jackson. You can do that Brent Schroeder. You can do that any corner of this country. Just go to Masters of Enrollment, and while you're there, order your journals, but go look for that little number that says, here's how you call Dr. Wallach. And you guys can do that every day of your life. And what's cool about that is you're going to start building retail business. And what's the backbone of any business? It's having all those customers as you sort for those 4 leaders. You're finding those customers as you sort for the 4 leaders. It's as important as anything else. You want an army of customers. I'll guarantee you that. And you want a legion of leaders leading that army. How do you do that? You develop the leadership. I was telling Deb and Victoria, the guy was saying, well, what was different between our company and every other company out there? And I said, there's a myriad of things. But one of the most important things is the people sitting at this table with you. Victoria and Deb do what I do. They've read all 4 of the books. They are interviewing people. They're walking the line and doing it exactly the same way. And we're all getting exactly the same results. And it's so cool. And if you guys will just stick to the track and use that interview and use that Masters of Enrollment system and use all those great things developed by Lisa Barney and Denise, it's going to blow your mind. Go onto the website. Listen to Lisa talk about the way she trains and coaches people. It'll blow. It's amazing. Go in there and buy those rank advancement journals for your team and start creating this team of people doing the same thing. And I want to talk about that just a minute more, that team of people doing the same thing. I'll tell you, if you go down to the Army and you see a whole bunch of guys marching, they're marching kind of the same way. And there's a couple of guys in there that say, well, I'm going to march a little different because I know a little bit more, because I've been in the marching business for 35 years and I know how to march better than you. And so they're marching completely different from the other 50 guys, and the entire picture is different because you got that one guy thinking he knows how to march differently. That's what's going to happen to you in longevity. You're going to have that one guy thinking he can march better and differently, but I'm going to tell you one thing. If you can keep everybody walking and marching exactly the same way toward a common goal, you're going to get there. And even though they think they know better, sometimes you've got to be that leader. Sometimes you've got to be that commander. Sometimes you've got to be that coach, that mentor that says, man alive, I know you know how to march that way, and that's great. But in this little formation, this is the way you're marching. And if you need me to help you, you've got to march this way. That's why you asked me to be your coach. Because people are always going to want to change something. But everything they change, it does change things. And it might be for the better. And I know you've all got a whiz-bang sentence that you want to put in a coffee shop interview or something like that. But I'm going to tell you, every time you add something, it adds confusion. So if you add something, and then the 200 people in your organization each add a sentence, and then everybody in the company adds a sentence, it's going to be an unrecognizable document and nothing flat, and you all know that. So try to stick to the formation until you make at least double diamond if you can, and hold yourself to that vow no matter how tempted you are to change the formation. Wait till you make double diamond, and then you'll come to the double diamond meeting with several of us, and we'll all sit down and we will go through your great idea and either add your sentence or maybe stay the same. And we don't know that because we haven't done it yet. But you guys, this is a tremendous time in longevity. It is moving down the road, and all you need to do is decide that you are going to reach out and take the responsibility of being the leader of your formation and take them down the road. And the first thing starts with you getting the 4 books, reading them, finding your 4 leaders, get them a journal, get them a managing associate journal, get them a diamond journal, get them a Kona double diamond journal, and watch them and teach your team to do the same thing for their team, and watch the miracles start to happen. I love you guys. Bring your team to this call tomorrow, no matter what. Bring your team. So think about that. Today is Wednesday. Write yourself a note right now. I'm bringing my 4 leaders, or I'm bringing my 4 top prospects to this call tomorrow morning. We are going to blow your mind tomorrow. So make sure that you bring your 4 leaders to the call. Send emails, send phone calls, go to their house. I love you guys. very, very much. Here we come.